That's Deadpool. That's Wolverine.
You're damn straight it is. Fox killed him. Disney brought him back. They're gonna make him do this till he's 90. This is my friend Peter. Show him, Sugar Bear.
Oh. You like that?
It's nice, right?
We doing this?
Let's go.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds revealed more deleted scenes and alternate endings for Deadpool and Wolverine. They confirm a couple of theories we had early on. Some of them get pretty crazy, so it's easy to understand why they probably cut some of them from the movie, but some of them are a big bummer, like some of them are really cool. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. They've been releasing deleted scenes and alternate characters, alternate cameo scenes like every single day, so I am sure there'll be like a whole new batch in another week or so. The first big deleted scene was supposed to come later in the movie after Deadpool and Wolverine get portaled back to the 1005 universe, the main X-Men universe, by Cassandra Nova before they get eaten by Alioth. They land on that minivan that Peter had just sold to the same family that Deadpool failed to sell a car to at the beginning of the movie because he wouldn't stop swearing. They have that Disney joke about making Hugh Jackman come back and play Wolverine until he is 90. Joke's on all of us, though, because it's probably true now, like they'll actually probably do that because the movie's already made more money than Captain America's Civil War. Back out those dump trucks of money and get them to come back and keep playing the character. In the theatrical cut, right after they crash land and clown on Disney, Deadpool tells Peter to clock him out of work at the car dealership forever, meaning that he's decided to become a superhero again, which Peter had been bugging him about at the beginning of the movie. They go straight to Paradox at his underground base in the subway terminal to confront him about the Time Ripper and trying to destroy the main X-Men universe. Based on the deleted scene, it sounds like after the Disney joke, Deadpool just kept on cracking jokes, like the scene just kept going on and on with the family and the kids there, Peter showing them his piercings from earlier in the movie. It's meant to be a callback to the joke at the very beginning of the film where Peter said a friend, quote unquote, like he didn't say it was him, he said a friend of mine got his nipples pierced and his dong and they got them connected with a chain. Then like seconds after this, at the birthday party, you see Peter in the background getting Yukio to tug on his chain. That is definitely going to sting just a little bit. Don't tug too hard. The next deleted scene is meant to have been one of the alternate endings. There are a couple different endings to the movie that we've learned about since it came out. I've done videos on some of the other ones already. But it seems like the new alternate endings and deleted scenes are all connected to each other. So the first big part of this is a big callback to the Deadpool Corps and Peter Pool inside the TVA. Just starting with the first part, this is probably the biggest joke in all of it. Notice that Headpool and Kidpool are sitting on Peter's couch watching a movie back in the main X-Men universe at the end of the movie. Peter feeding popcorn to Headpool because he doesn't have any hands. If you didn't see the credits, Headpool was voiced by Nathan Fillion of all people. We hear him speak during the final battle scene.
Hold your fire! Sweet little puppy.
I'm assuming this scene is just meant to have revealed that at least part of the Deadpool Corps came back to the main X-Men universe, 1005, with Peter, Deadpool, Wolverine, X-23, after they destroyed Cassandra Nova in the Time Ripper and fixed everything. So part of the Deadpool Corps are just now hanging out in the main X-Men universe indefinitely, probably till Secret Wars. Like I would not be surprised if the Deadpool Corps shows up during Secret Wars. Kidpool was also played by Ryan Reynolds' real-life daughter, Inez Reynolds, too, so that's probably why she was part of this scene. Like, hey, honey, why don't you stick around? We'll put you in one of the post-credit scenes. Then this other deleted scene, I think, is meant to be part of an earlier alternate ending with Peter Pool inside the TVA. Notice Peter Pool still inside Deadpool's old suit. It's basically Wade's old suit from the first two Deadpool movies that he'd kept inside his locker, which is why it doesn't fit him. He's standing here inside Paradox's main workroom that we'd saw earlier in the movie, the TVA. Wolverine's also there, and they're confronting Paradox. Notice that Wolverine is also wearing that TVA jacket that we saw in the theatrical cut. So this scene is probably meant to happen right after this scene of them after they destroyed the Time Ripper in the subway confronting Paradox with Hunter B-15. What probably happened is that scene just continued back into the TVA where they were admonishing Paradox and talking about fixing everything and rescuing the Resistance group of variants that were stuck on the Void. They probably just felt like this scene became too extra, like it just kept going on for too long, so they cut a bunch of the conversation so that it all just wrapped up inside the underground subway terminal. There's this deleted scene of Chris Evans at the end of the movie on the street here. This looks like it would have happened around the time when the fight with the Deadpool Corps was meant to happen. I talked about another deleted scene in a previous video too, where he actually came back and fought in this final battle against the Deadpool Corps with the Resistance group. I think part of the idea is that in an early version of the movie, he survived, like he wasn't killed by Cassandra Nova earlier in the movie, so he was around to actually still be on that resistance team when they all teamed up and fought against the Deadpool Corps. It sounds like Chris Evans was always meant to be a big part of the movie, like he was one of the early people that they got, because he said one of the big conditions that he had for actually coming back to play his Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four movies was that they left his post-credit scene in and they didn't water it down. Like he got to be as foul-mouthed as he never got to be as Captain America. So it sounds like that was always going to be one of the post-credit scenes, but there might have been a point where there were multiple different post-credit scenes. Personally, I'm totally fine with them actually killing him off earlier in the movie because of the joke about the way that Chris Evans is killing the budget of the movie with him breaking the fourth wall. Like, do you know what he's doing to the budget of this?
It has been a long journey. It really has. It hasn't, though. It feels like it's gone by incredibly fast. I feel like we just got here. I feel like we never even left. I have no idea where I am in time and space.
Probably the crazier part in that other deleted scene is the fact that Ben Affleck's Daredevil was also meant to be on that resistance team in the final fight. They mentioned him earlier in the movie, but it was part of the Elektra joke, the Jennifer Garner real-life joke, because they were actually married in real life. So she was totally fine with him having been killed by Cassandra Nova. R.I.P. to the other really good lawyer. Then much earlier in the movie, there was a much larger deleted scene of Deadpool visiting a comic book animated universe, kind of like Doctor Strange visiting the animated universe during Multiverse of Madness. They said this was going to be based on an amalgam of different eras from the comics. Like, a lot of these designs are from very, very different eras. But it's very clearly meant to be based on the original Avengers movie in that classic pose from the original Avengers, but it's the MCU version of the team. Captain America, Thor, the Hulk, and Hawkeye are all wearing their original comic book suits from when the characters first debuted. But notice Iron Man's suit is the Mark VIII from the comics, also called the Silver Centurion, which he wore during the 1980s. Black Widow is based on the short-hair 90s version of Black Widow that appeared during the Daredevil comic books. Deadpool in the background dropping an F-bomb, which is censored by the Comics Code Authority. He's designed to look like the original version of the character when he first debuted in the 90s from Rob Liefeld. Like, this is the original design for the Deadpool character. They basically said that this universe was also meant to pay homage to Rob Liefeld's Deadpool comics in the 90s. I believe the reason why they cut this scene from the movie is because it would have come at the beginning of the film when he's doing the montage jumping through different universes looking for the perfect version of Wolverine. One of the universes would have just been this animated comic book universe. And a lot of you probably thought about this, like this would actually have been a really great opportunity to have Deadpool visit the X-Men 97 animated universe, which takes place in the 1990s with those versions of the characters. It would have been a great opportunity to have a cameo scene from that X-Men 97 version of Wolverine. My assumption is they didn't go for it just because it felt like it was too extra, like they already had so many different live-action variants of Wolverine based on classic comic book moments. When they were making X-Men 97 Season 1, they also said that the Deadpool character was off limits because Deadpool is canon to X-Men the Animated Series. He appeared very briefly during that original series. There were a billion different cameos during X-Men 97 Season 1, but they just said that Deadpool, because the movie was happening, they couldn't touch the character. So maybe in a future X-Men 97 season, we'll get that Deadpool cameo, and maybe if we're lucky, he'll be voiced by Ryan Reynolds. That would be funny if he just showed up randomly during an X-Men 97 season, like, what is he doing here? Then Ryan Reynolds revealed Rob McElhenney's deleted scene was exactly what we thought it was going to be. He was in that first teaser trailer, but the scene got cut later during editing. He was going to be the TVA agent who got eaten by Alioth in those early trailers. Apparently, the scene would have just gone on for a very long, very slow, drawn-out death where he begs for his life from Alioth as he's getting eaten. Like, it would have just been a very, very long death, and that would have been part of the joke. Ryan Reynolds made a big deal about apologizing to Rob McElhenney for cutting his scene, but just said the scene was not working in the final cut of the movie, so they had to let it go. One of the other deleted storylines involved Cassandra Nova's backstory with Professor X. So originally, she wasn't going to have any kind of special deal with the TVA. She was going to have grown up on the Void, thinking that Professor X had put her there. Deadpool and Wolverine would have eventually showed up. She would have learned about Paradox and what he was doing, then confronted him for his treachery. They got rid of a lot of those Professor X references, I think just to simplify her overall backstory. In the final version of the movie, her deal with the TVA basically let her do whatever she wanted on the Void as long as she stayed on the Void. The whole reason why she leaves the Void and comes to the main X-Men universe to use the Time Ripper is because Paradox betrays her, trying to kill her. Then there were a couple alternate Deadpool core characters, like Deadpool variants, that didn't make the final cut. This one was called Rob Pool, which was another homage to Rob Liefeld. His design is meant to look a little bit more like Rob Liefeld's classic designs with the shoulder pads. This was Punk Pool, kind of like Spider-Punk, but Deadpool. Probably one of the biggest variants that didn't make the final cut was Wolverine Pool. This would actually been pretty cool. There is a Wolverine Pool in the comics as well. He is exactly what you think he is. He's a Deadpool who has an adamantium skeleton like Wolverine and a mask that looks more like Wolverine's. I think the whole reason why they got rid of this version of Wolverine Pool is because of the big in-sync joke at the beginning of the movie. During his dance montage, he uses Logan's adamantium skeleton and the claws to make a big Wolverine Pool joke. So I guess they felt like having an actual Wolverine Pool in the Deadpool core at the end of the movie would have just been redundant. Like I said, they keep releasing brand new deleted scenes and more alternate characters and alternate cameo scenes like every single day. So if they release a bunch more, I'll try to do another deleted scenes video. I'll just wait till they've released enough of them. Click here to learn about Iron Man's deleted scenes and alternate ending. There was going to be a lot of Robert Downey Jr. in the movie. And click here to learn about the big Ghost Rider and Ben Affleck Daredevil deleted scenes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.